Hi, everybody. I am so excited today. I am doing something that I hadn't done in a while, and that's talk about my book. I want to introduce you to reverse diabetes now, the proven 365-day technique. This is my baby for type 2 diabetes, preventing type 2 diabetes, for up leveling your health overall. So it is a great resource and roadmap for any of you who are dealing with not only type 2 diabetes but also chronic illnesses such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and others. Because you know what, when I created this book, I used the same format that I use to reverse lupus, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, migraine headaches, and many other more illnesses that were plaguing me and keeping me from being the productive human being that I knew I could be. It was a quite a journey. It took me like 3 years of research on all these disease states, and I also enrolled in health coaching school. And I not only went to just the regular health coaching school to become certified in health and wellness, but I continued and went in their mastery program and became certified in advanced nutrition and also life coaching. So, along with being a pharmacist for over 30 years and having my background, my degrees in psychology and my work in psychology, and also masters in biology and teaching biology on a university level, I have lots of experience with health, just overall health, and I've always loved fitness. And so my book encompasses all of these things that are important to change your health so that you don't have to live like that. You don't have to live with all these chronic diseases. You got to catch it early, though. You don't want to wait until you've already gotten organ damage. Now, when in that case, there's still help for you, but some illnesses cannot be reversed once you've damaged your organs, but you can always have better health than where it is right now. And that is where I come in. So, how many of you live with type 2 diabetes and maybe high blood pressure or a couple other issues that you'd rather not be a part of your life? Any hands? So if that's you, put in the comments, it's me, or yes, or me makes it even easier. Can And that way I'll know, who's on board, who is dealing with, dealing with something with their health that, man, you really wish it wasn't part of your life. So that's where this book comes in. So I want to read a little bit about read the first part of the foreword. All right. Okay. So I start by saying, are you living with the freedom to do all the things you want? Or are you living with health restrictions due to diabetes? Hmm. Does that sound like any one of you? Are you ready to up level your health and make a change? I challenge you today to take that stand, to take that step, that one step. It only takes one step to make a lifetime of changes. So, if that sounds like you, tell me what might be holding you back? Have you ever thought about it? Sometimes you might want to just list some things, grab a piece of paper and write down the pros and cons of what's going on with your health. Need to take an inventory, a brief health assessment. Better yet, if you haven't recently had a physical, now is the time to do it. I know a lot of people don't like going to the doctor. I've actually even heard people say, um, I'd rather not know, because you're going to die from something anyway. Well, when I hear things like that, um, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit because I know that if you do if you're proactive and you take the step to be in charge of your health, then there's no reason to be afraid. When I hear that, I sense a little bit of fear. And so the more you know, when you know what you're dealing with, then that way you can attack it. You can get your strategies together and know how to handle them. And if you are like borderline or something, there's a way to, reverse that thing. And so that's why it's important to go ahead and take that step and, you know, figure out what you want to do with your life, with your health. Because when you think about your health isn't just about you. Your health is about everyone who you are attached to, your family. If something happens to you, how is that going to affect your family? You know, have you thought about that? So when you think about things like that, that should light a fire up under you to really want to do something to be better. You know, not just your health, but just be better, be a better person. And when you think about your health and wanting to improve it, that's not being selfish. Selfish to me is not doing anything about it and just, just kind of eating eating anything and all things, putting a bunch of unhealthy foods in your body, a lot of empty calories, things that's not going to benefit you or to help to prolong your life and prolong being able to have more energy or improve your energy levels and have more vitality to do all the things that you would love to do. Have you ever like wanted to do something and you just didn't have the energy, you just didn't feel like it? And it wasn't because you've been working a lot and your body just needs to take a break and rest. Have you ever just kind of like woken up like that and it was like, oh, another day? So That when that happens, that means okay, that's a light bulb should go off. There's something that's off balance. And the thing about your health, when it's just one thing off, it kind of throws the whole dynamic off. So let me continue. So I continue and say, not so long ago, I was faced with the same decision, living with lupus. And so I asked myself, am I going to control my health, or will I allow the disease to control me? So then my journey began. So I made a conscious decision that I was no longer going to live my life around drugs, which that's what it was. I was on so many medications that I couldn't tell if the medicine was really helping me or hurting me, because I was having so many crazy side effects and and problems with my organs, and my my mental health was not in its best place, because I was so worried and concerned, and and having, like I said, side effects, and going to the doctors all the time. I had a doctor's appointment every week, and I was on I was taking over 20 something tablets a day. That's a lot of medication. Are there any of you out there that take a lot of medicine and you really wish that you didn't have to do that anymore? Granted, there are some situations where at this point there's not a whole lot that you can do, but for the majority of the people, of you all who are dealing with some chronic illnesses that can be reversed using steps, a roadmap to change your lifestyle, then you know then you need to come talk to me and get my book. So my introduction, I say, I can still hear family members speak about having sugar. I would ask what sugar is, but I never got a clear answer. So throughout the years, my family lost limbs, vision, and even their lives from complications related to sugar, which I later found out was diabetes. Diabetes does not care about your age, sex, or ethnicity. It can be relentless and wreak havoc in families, and can be pretty costly. So, how many of you live with type 2 diabetes and you take one or more oral medications? How many of you live with type 2 diabetes and you take one oral medication and you also use insulin? How many of you are on an insulin pump? How many of you have been diagnosed with neuropathy, where you don't have you're having issues with circulation with your legs or your hands or your feet? What about amputations? Hmm. Have you ever had to lose a toe or a foot or a leg? And how about your vision? Have you noticed that sometimes you're not seeing as well as you were before? And it's not because of aging. You noticed it once you were diagnosed with diabetes. You know, the list can go on. And another one is kidney disease. And see, all of these issues have come up with in my family. I've had family members that had to deal with all of these things. My father had type 2 diabetes, and it was all connected with congestive heart failure. And he ended up passing away not too long ago from congestive heart failure. And I wouldn't doubt that diabetes had a lot to do with it. So, with all of this being said, I implore you to go ahead and get started and purchase my book, Reverse Diabetes Now, The Proven 365-Day Technique. It's on Amazon. It even comes in a Kindle version. And if you have any questions about how to get started and you need some live accountability, an accountability partner, then I'm available. I am Coach Phyllis M. Weaver of Discover Ultimate Health. And like I said, I have personal experience. I was never diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. However, when I was about 18, I was diagnosed with hypoglycemia. My first year in college, I was a student at the University of Virginia. And one night, I I kept getting up all night long. I kept getting up to have to use the bathroom. And then I was super, super thirsty. I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I really needed to stay asleep because I had to get up. I had to be at work at a lab at 7 o'clock in the morning. I had to go all across campus to get to University of Virginia Medical School, where I worked in a otolaryngology lab, and I did tissues. So anyway, that night, all night long, like I said, I kept having to run to the bathroom. And then so I would go to the bathroom and pass by the water fountain and come back to my room. And one of the last times I got up to go to the bathroom, and I was so weak that I passed out and I hit my head on my Foot Locker, which we had Foot Lockers back then. It's a big, giant, um, kind of like a big suitcase, but it's a Foot Locker. And so I don't know how long I was passed out on the floor, but I know I did finally come to, and I was able to make it to work that morning. And I told my coworker about, she was my supervisor, and she said, Phyllis, it sounds like you have diabetes. And I said, really? She said, I'm a diabetic, And those symptoms are some of the same ones that I sometimes go through. And so, long story short, I ended up having to spend my very first fall break in the hospital. And so we had a week off, and I spent my whole week in the hospital. I was having a battery of tests done, and that's when they determined that I had hypoglycemia, and I was told that I had to always watch my blood sugar, monitor my blood sugar level, like for the rest of my life, because it could actually, they said, flip over to hyperglycemia, which is diabetes. So, with this being said, I just want to, let you guys know that I do have personal experience with blood sugar levels fluctuating. And even now, I have to be careful. I have to, make sure that I'm eating properly and getting the right amount of rest. Recently, I did not get enough sleep for like a week, and I ended up, my immune system dropped. So, you really have to, be careful, make sure that you are taking care of your body. And so, this book, Reverse Diabetes Now, the Proven 365-Day Technique, this book is not just a book, telling stories or telling you, information like an info book. Yes, it does give you information. I even have a chapter in here that acknowledges many of the scientists who played a role in what we know about diabetes today. And so if, I would love for you to read that, because when I was doing my research, I learned about a lot of scientists that I had never even heard of. These are like hidden scientists. A lot of times the only ones that we hear about are like the most famous ones who got the notoriety. And there are so many countless others who made major contributions to medicine and learning all about different disease states like type 2 diabetes. And they were just kind of pushed aside and, not in like the major history books. So that I want to share. And also, this is a roadmap, it's a workbook. It's not just telling you what to do. It's giving you ways for you to physically do it yourself. If you follow this book, not just read it, but actually do the things that's in here, then you'll see progress. You'll see it. And there's different trackers in here, journal, their menus, exercises, stress management, all kinds of things. This book is a total of 115 pages. And this is really easy to follow. And join me today in your journey to be the best you that you can be with your health. You deserve it. You deserve it. I heard someone today say, remember that your body is your temple. And I say that too. Your body is your temple. You only have one body. So I encourage you to do the best that you can to take care of your body, the one body that you have, because sometimes you don't get any additional chances. You have to do it now. You don't want to wait too late. That's what I mean. You got to start now. Today is the day. So go to Amazon, pick up your book. Let me know that you have gotten it and share with others. This is a book that can save your life and countless others. So that's what I have for you today. I just wanted to share with you, introduce you to my book, and I will be back to talk to you some more and share some more chapters and share some, share some other health and wellness tips because, like I said, I have a lifetime of experience. I've been a pharmacist since 1988. Some of you weren't even born yet. But yeah, I've been a pharmacist that long. And I have lots of background. Before I went to pharmacy school, like I said, I was a psychologist and a biologist. I worked in labs and with I worked at Hampton University, and I I've worked had lots of experience with not just your physical health, but also with mental health, and we'll delve into that as well. How having chronic illness affects you mentally, and we all know that your mental health plays a huge role in your physical health. So, with this, you guys have a wonderful and blessed day. This is Phyllis M. Weaver of Discover Ultimate Health LLC. I am your transformational health, wellness, and life coach. You can also get me at 1-888-585-2851. That's 1-888-585-2851. You can text me anytime. I'm on many social media channels. You can find lots of reels and helpful information on my Discover Ultimate Health Instagram page. I have Facebook, Discover Ultimate Health, LinkedIn, and others. And I'm starting to add to my YouTube channel. So you can find me, leave me a message, you can text me, go to my website, discoverultimatehealth.com. Thanks so much, you guys, and you have a wonderful and fabulous day.